The last thing we'll talk about before getting into the first phase of SDLC or your application requirements is budget for the project. Many people will ask, hey, how do I come up with a budget for how much I want to or should be spending for my software? And it's a little bit of a chicken and egg game because, how do you determine the budget if you don't know what it'll cost to build? What if what you need is, a couple days of work and, you put a budget of $10,000 for that, or if it's going to cost $1,000 and you set a budget of $500. So, it can be very stressful and, a little bit of an issue just to kind of come up with, well, what should I budget? How much will this cost? So what I do in cases like this is I will get a ballpark figure, and essentially how I do this is I'll go on a site like Upwork, like Freelancer, like Fiverr, and I'll just post a new project, and I'll put in a placeholder amount for the budget, like $100 or $500 or anything like that. And I'll write in my description, hey, the budget is very flexible. Please get back to me with what you think that it's actually going to cost to do this. As many of the requirements and design elements that you have up until that point, I post all of it. And within a matter of, I'd say probably say like 24 hours, maybe 48 hours max, you'll get a bunch of people bidding on the project from all over the world that will put in what they think it's going to cost or what they're quoting you to build out the project. Now, some people are going to give their own placeholder kind of bids, especially if you select fixed price. They may say, all right, I'm going to put in that it'll cost you $100 to do it. Let's get on a call and discuss. But essentially, you're not forced to go and, go through with the project after you post it. So, if you post the project and it turns out that you've got $1,000 in your bank account and 90% of the people are posting that it's going to cost $20,000 to build this out, then you know that, hey, I have a little bit of saving that I need to do, or that there are some other alternatives that we'll talk through when we get to discussion around scope. But essentially what you can do is you can say, can I slice up, maybe finish the project with a smaller feature set than what I originally intended, and that way have a lower cost to build out the application. So as an example for this, say you want to create the next Microsoft Office suite, you go and you get your proposals, and it turns out that it's going to be $100,000 to go and build that out. Say, well, I don't have $100,000, I have $10,000, right? So you say, all right, well, if I have $10,000, rather than waiting, till I get to 100, can I build out, maybe the simplest application within the Microsoft Office suite, and say I want to build out, PowerPoint instead of, the whole suite, and I just want to focus on being able to drag and drop, images to slides and, have a presentation do that. So, you can change the scope, and we'll talk about exactly what we mean by scope of the project to fit your budget. And, maybe you wanted to charge $1,000, a year subscription for your version of the Microsoft Office suite. And maybe it's something where, you charge $50 a year instead of $1,000 a year. But the feature set is much smaller. And as you add more applications and more features, you expand your price to compensate for that. So we'll talk through scope in the next couple of lectures over here. But don't get discouraged if they come back to you with numbers that seem to be way outside of your budget. There may be opportunities to get to the number that you need to make the project work.